Hey everyone, this is Steve from GamersNexus.net, and we are here at ECGC 2014. I think it's 2014 now. This is the banner for ECGC. Check all links in the description below for any other content. I am joined by Ken Rolston, who is a design director.
Internationally celebrated game designer first, and also the director of design for Turbine Warner Brothers.
There you go. So Ken here has quite extensive experience in the games industry. Can you run us through a couple of your major titles people might be?
Started off on paper and pencil role-playing games. Paranoia, a game in which you pretended to be trying to succeed when essentially you're only trying to kill everyone else in your party. It was a wonderful thing. And then I came to computer games in about 1995 when I was in my 40s, and everybody else was about 20 years younger than I am. So I ended up at Elder Scrolls, Bestsoft, and two of my light classics are Morrowind and Oblivion, which I'm sure you all adore.
I know I did. So with Morrowind, this is reaching back to 2001, 2?
Like I remember? Not likely.
Quite a while ago. With Morrowind, the technology wasn't quite where it is today in terms of graphics and engines. Are there any design elements that, looking back, you really wanted to include then, but you got cut off for technological reasons?
I think the great thing about Morrowind is we did far more than we could, far less polish than we could. It's a miracle that it works at all, and I mean that not in an ironic or jokey way. The great thing about Morrowind is that there's too much there, and it's like jazz. There's so many notes that you may not like all of them, but you have so much to choose from that it's exciting. When you look at a product like Oblivion, far better software and everywhere, far better experience for the player, but Morrowind, there's so much delicious nonsense in that.
Is there any particular element of delicious nonsense that you cling to the most?
There is a quest called Hentis Needs Pants, and you're standing on the top of a ravine looking down into the water, and you notice a guy is standing in the water, and that never happens in a game. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Somebody's standing, not moving around or fishing or anything, he's just standing there. You go down and talk to him, and he's had his pants stolen, and he doesn't want to come out of the water until you get him some pants. That was, I think, my favorite FedEx quest, because it seems so important to him. He's very serious. I'm not coming out if I get some pants. So that's how pants are an important currency of dignity and honor. And you feel like you've done a good turn for this fella. I don't think you get a very good reward for it, though. Probably cheap.
Can you give us an idea for some of the items in the game that you personally had hands-on with?
No. In fact, almost all the items were made by really smart guys. And one thing I can say is about one of the late quest lines, I believe it's the Imperial Cult. There are maybe 10 different factions in Morrowind, and we just didn't have time to do that last one. And I decided I would do it on weekends, just as volunteer work. And Gary Noonan had made a number of really cool-looking weapons. One is a helmet that's got a saber-toothed tiger built into it, and he just gave me those objects and had me use those as rewards in the quests. That made those quests work. I apologize to Gary for not remembering what the name of those things are, but I imagine hardcore fans. And again, don't forget, I'm not a hardcore fan anymore because I never got a chance to play it. People who really know the game are the people who got to play it and discovered everything. Because I made it and then made it again and changed it. I don't really remember what I did. And I was in such a hurry. Oh my God.
And moving into Oblivion, did you play a similar role on Oblivion as you did with Morrowind?
Not as desperately. In Morrowind, there were no people who were experienced at making games. With Oblivion, we already knew basically what we had to do, and I had the privilege of making, let's call them placeholder faction quests, and then turning them over to each of the designers and saying, it is now your job to throw everything away in this outline and fill it with whatever you're excited about. And I'll say, for example, Emil Pagliarillo did an amazing job of taking a kind of a pedestrian but professional outline into something that sang with, I mean, Emil's just a great writer anyway.
moving into Skyrim, did you ever get a chance to even play?
Never even a little bit.
Never
I was
even.
so happy to retire at the end of Oblivion. I was really exhausted, and I'd had all the fun I could stand. And it's just 2 times in my life I've retired, and I keep coming back, luckily in more advisory and mentor roles where I don't have to do any honest work. I tell everybody not going to do a lick of work, but I'll help you figure out how to do what you want to do.
You're an enabler and an evangelist.
Yes, enabler in that criminal sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
The executives would appreciate that.
Yeah. They love that.
So for fans of your work, what's going on today? Where can they follow your proceedings?
They can't follow me anywhere because I'm far too important to want to be public. And you're very clever to have snuck up on me and gotten this interview. Essentially, I've gone dark because we're working on things that we can't talk about. So I love my privacy now. So talking about old products, I don't mind doing.
Well, keep eyes on the website, I suppose, for any upcoming titles that weren't discussed here. And thanks again for all of your time. Really appreciate the dive back to Morrowind. And we will see you all next time.
Carry on.